back, guys. It is time for Keen versus Inori, a Terran versus Protoss, our second best of 3 of our afternoon session here.
Yeah, and I just talked a little bit to the TSL coach and asked him what he thinks about the chances of Inori, and he answered with a, I don't know. So he apparently has no clue how this match is going to end. We'll find out now, though. We have Abyssal City, our first map, definitely one of the maps that Inori will most likely not... He won't be too happy about playing this map. This is the map that every Protoss player hates so far. On the other hand, Keen with good drop play can definitely play to the strengths of the map. So let's find out what happens in map number 1.
Yep, up and loaded now. And we're starting, of course, with our Terran player to the left side in the red. I'm calling him the commander. It's from the team MVP's MVP Keen.
Commander Keen indeed.
Looking good today, actually.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. He came into the studio and he looked like he came from a vacation. It was really like, whoa, look at you, Keen. Yeah. You certainly look relaxed.
He was dressed in nice clothes, too.
Yeah. To the right, we have his opponent. We have the Protoss player starting for TSL. This is Inori.
Even the MVP coach was in a good mood. But now this is, of course, a former FX Open player. And he has traveled to a few events, done decently there. And will he actually be able to get his first Code A win? That is what we're about to find out.
Was never successful in the GSL so far, and we'll find out if he is able to best Keen here. Very strong Terran player.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If Keen loses here, he's going to be out of the GSL. Yep. It's been a while since that happened.
One of the things that people have always saying about Keen is that he's a little bit inconsistent, and this is definitely true for some matchups. The one thing that Inori won't like too much either is that this is actually Keen's best matchup. He has the best win ratio against Protoss, 65%, 58 wins and 31 losses.
Yeah, he's a really strong Terran vs. Protoss player, very good at defending all-ins.
You know, he actually won against one Protoss player that we are going to see later on. He was able to win against Trap at the WCG Korea qualifier. Trap later on will have to play against Oz. This is one of the matches that will come up in the early session.
This probe may get in if he doesn't raise that depot. Okay, he raised it. That was a close call.
And at the same time, we have Inori, a couple of results that he recently achieved against Terran. He lost to Cass with a 3-1 at the Gigabyte Invitational. At the same time, was able to beat BCQD in the same tournament. Won against a couple of additional Terran players, as for example, 4GG and Puma. Both of them at IEM Cologne.
Hey, what's your take on the ID BCQD? That's kind of weird. It seems a bit. It's like kind of contradicts itself. Well, like I kind of like it, but I'm kind of weirded out by it at the same time.
The thing is, I got used to the idea already. I casted the guy the first time like 2 years ago. Yeah. So he was always playing in a lot of the smaller tournaments in Europe when StarCraft 2 just came out. Some people, I think the Craft Cup is still around. I actually don't know if it still exists, but that was one of the nearly daily tournaments that we had in the early stages of StarCraft 2. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. So BCQD always played in those.
Really good player.
It's a little bit like the Beauty and the Beast, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, this SCU, we'll see the second gas taken. He sees the double probe and double gas. Does not know about the forward pylon though. That's very sneakily been hidden. No gateways, no proxy structures. A lot of Protoss are doing this right now where they make the third pylon there just because you can warp in from it later, spots drops, and it keeps the SCV guessing. It's like, where's that third pylon? It's not your main. Why does he not have a third pylon in his main? Is he hiding something? I gotta be careful.
By the way, while you mentioned BCQD, I think he's currently living in the US. For some time he was living at the Racer House and was living in California. I'm pretty sure about that.
I remember he got interviewed for that.
Yeah, it was also, he was using one of my Taiwanese accounts for the Korean server. Mr. Bida asked me for an account and I think BCQD was the one playing, and then when I was playing on ladder, I actually saw the account coming online. So I talked to him and just confirmed that BCQD was using that for quite a while to play on the Korean server. I'm not quite sure if it's still being used by them or not. But yeah, he trained quite a lot and I was able to get some decent results in the recent past. But against Inori, he lost. So now Inori has to pull off the same, I don't want to call it a miracle, but the same performance against Keen. It's just like Inori has never won in the GSL. Yeah. I would really hope that he can, I mean, he will at least win one map in my opinion. I think this is one of the closer matches that we have today, and Inori performed so well at the Code A qualifier, but Keen is just a tough opponent to beat.
Inori is quite the character. He trains really hard. He actually practices English as well. He's got one of the best Englishes, better than mine apparently, out there.
His English is really good.
Yeah.
When I was at the Code A qualifier, I was talking to Jangvi a little bit, and at first Hyun was translating, and Hyun's English is pretty decent, but at some point he just gave up and turned around and he just started laughing and started translating for both of us a little bit, so that was actually pretty cute. But his English is really good,
Yeah. And right now, with the scan that Keen saw, or with the scan that allowed him to see their gateways going up, he's going to decide to pressure a little bit here. He's not going to be able to do too much damage, but he may be able to trade some of his first few units for sentries, which really, of course, hurts Inori because he'll have to replace those. He won't be able to tech as quickly. And just this presence on the map with the small bioforce is scary to Inori. He's going to have to be careful. I keep seeing things float up to the surface here on this map, and I'm not quite sure what it is. Did you see that? I don't even know what that is. I keep just seeing stuff float up, and I'm not.
Bubbles?
It must be the broken down mule. That must be it. Because I just see like a piece of something float up, and I'm like, what is that? And nothing's dying. It's got to be the mule dying, and then it floats. I solved the mystery.
Okay.
You can call me Detective Wolf.
What's your take on this one?
I'm like, Private Eye.
Detective Wolf. Now I have to think about Detective Conan, and I imagine you with glasses. Thank you very much for weird pictures in my head. Suddenly you're only about 1 meter tall.
Well,
Back with black hair.
You can have those images. That's fine. I'd be flattered.
If you start to rub your nose, then I will be weirded out. Do you have Wiki? The Viking? Does that comic exist in English?
No, I don't think I've heard of this.
This Viking child, and he always comes up with these amazing solutions, and before he does it, he rubs his nose and he looks a little bit like a junkie who just got a line.
I don't know. All I was thinking was when you mentioned that, I thought like he figures out problems. I'm like, well, he's like on the ground, he's walking, he's like, I can't get up to the cookie shelf, then he just transforms into air mode and then grabs it.
No!
I was thinking about that kind of Viking. He's like, his mom puts the cookies on the top of the refrigerator, he can't get them, so he transforms into air mode and grabs the cookies.
In my childhood, it was really popular, and I think recently there was a remake as well, and a movie, but that might just have been in Europe. But it was really funny, and all the kids really loved it. But
what's it called again?
I only know the German name, but if you translate it, it's like Vicky the Viking. It's just this child, and it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
but it's funny. But he always rubs his nose before he has an epiphany.
This is a weird engagement. This is actually a Colossus that doesn't have very many friends fighting a big army. Yeah, that force field was a bit desperate, and he's actually going to stem and catch this nearly full energy sentry. And gets the observer.
Yeah, for Keen, everything is going on. It isn't too bad for him right now. At this point in time, he can really start with this annoying drop play on Abyssal City. But I really love it if you have a battle between a Protoss and a Terran, and suddenly you have this one force field appearing in the middle of the battlefield that doesn't accomplish anything at all, because the Protoss isn't sure if the Terran really wants to commit, and he's ready for the force fields, and then his finger gets a little bit itchy, and then suddenly there's this one force field. He's like trying to say, okay, come in here, and I will force field you off.
Yeah.
The force field looks so lost.
It does. It looks kind of out of place. The reason why Keen has a stronger army than Inori on the map right now is because Inori took the fast third, a very risky Nexus. He's getting his upgrades out right now. His Colossus range is done. But can he actually have enough units to defend both fronts? It just doesn't seem like it. Keen, though, is a little bit out of position here. He's got to use that second force. There he goes, stimming it into the natural. He needs to do some damage here. And since all of the units of Inori are way out of position, I think he absolutely will do some damage. He can basically get whatever he wants. He just has to choose.
He might lose his tech here. Indeed, he's currently just walking in and he's taking down probes. This is going to be really atrocious. The tech is gone. The robotics bay already vanished. And now the forge is being killed as well.
He accidentally attacked the neutral depot. He's not attacking the units, and they're going to get the robotics. As a result, the Colossus is not finished. And Keen taking a huge lead here. He's going to lose his second force to the north.
Yeah, he's trying to run in here, but this time Inori is ready with the force fields and also with the Colossus. 17 workers killed already, and finally Inori is able to throw Keen off and to just make sure that his base is safe for now. But the problem is that all the damage has already been done.
A great trade for Keen overall there, even though losing basically the majority of both of his forces. He traded army-wise in the main base there really well, killed off the tech, not only the robotic support, but the robo itself and the forge. Inori is in an awkward position now because he no longer has the economy advantage either. Keen has his third base up and finished. He's getting his upgrades out, something that Inori cannot even start until he rebuilds his forges. He is in a terrible spot right now.
His tech is gone, his workers are gone, and he needs time. And this is a lot of time that he will probably not get, because Keen is just getting ready to really launch another attack, this time with Viking support as well, to battle the few Colossi that are already out on the map. It's gonna be pretty tough on Inori.
Yeah, Keen has got his barracks like all the way up in the front to be able to easily get reinforcements out. Zealot does take out a few Harvesters here, just trying to be annoying, using that pylon that we talked about earlier.
And right now we even have a Templar Archive coming up for Storm, then we have Blink, 1-1 is being researched. Keen knows that he is far ahead, he's taking things easy now a little bit, he knows that his opponent will need a long time in order to get back into the game regarding his own tech.
Yeah, he stopped Viking production very smartly as well, knowing that there's no way Colossi are going to be on the menu again. He's going to be behind in upgrades, so he needs something like Storm, not only for AoE, but because Storm ignores upgrades, you can just use that to do so much damage to Terran armies, even if the Terran army has better upgrades than you.
Yeah, Keen on the other hand already has the Ghosts out and the Mirror's Reactor on his way too, so this is definitely going to be very tricky for Inori to use. He is 40 supply behind his opponent, which is definitely significant, and the upgrades are also much slower for Inori right now. It's just a tough position that he's in, and for Keen everything is set up to just do a lot more damage now with his second attack, and once again he splits his army. He tries to make sure that he has another chance of running into the main base of his opponent while attacking the third. Let's see if it works out. If he does, Inori will be on the brink of losing game 1.
Yeah, he's looking very vulnerable right now. His pylons on the edge, the spot drops are all just going to find themselves getting picked off. No way he can defend it. You guys, okay, now you're going to see it. He's going to pick off one pylon. He'll be able to get the second one as well. This will actually further supply block Inori. After losing the first one, he was supply blocked, loses the second one. Now back to 158 over 158. Very frustrating position right now. There's nothing he can do against this army that's on the side of his base. Even if he brings his Stalkers over there, they're going to die.
Storm is not done yet, so he can't really use Storms in order to control the choke points. He tries to save the High Templars here. The upgrade is still not done, and this force is just poking, trying to do a bit of damage, maybe catch those High Templars off guard, but now Storm finally completed, and he can use it in order to make sure that the funnel is being controlled, that Keen cannot just simply run up the ramp.
Yeah, and Keen is just really using his superior army size to make Inori flounder a little bit. He's trying to spread his units between the third base, the natural, the main. He's got to have units everywhere to stop Keen's force. If he's too thin in any one of those locations, he'll lose an entire expansion. Meanwhile, Keen has his fourth base up. Personnel cloaking for his Ghost is finishing up as well as his eighth and final Ghost it looks like he's going to produce with this squad. So he's got a sick, better upgraded army with EMPs coming in. And actually, I take it back, he was a little bit late on the draw with his upgrades. In fact, he just canceled +2 attack and didn't start anything that required gas right after that, so I find that a little bit strange.
Keen canceled +2 attack?
No, it finished, okay. The production tab actually bugged out. On my screen, it said the +2 attack was not even close to being done, then it just disappeared. I was like, oh, he canceled it. That was really weird. Yeah, but anyway, here comes the fight.
But here we go, exactly with the army that Keen has and the superior upgrades. He's looking at a really good spot, and his chance to win the game right away. The army of Inori is actually completely out of position, and a shot at the fourth base takes down 2 pylons while the Nexus has been cancelled, and now he has a really good... Well, he can just basically kill him, right?
Yeah, you can just walk across the map and kill him. Inori's army is cut off from his base. He's got a small army in his main. He's got a small army to the left. He's going to try to flank with it. It's too little, too late. The upgrades are better for Keen now, finally. +2-2 is about to finish for Inori, but it's not quite there yet. The Storm is really good here, but it just doesn't matter. There's a nuke.
No, the Ghost was killed immediately, so the nuke, not even the sound of the nuclear launch attack that starts. And here's the GG. No problem for Keen winning this game after this great start for the MVP player.
Yeah, looking really solid there. Just testing the multitasking of Inori. Inori taking that third base, which is pretty smart on the map with his size, but Keen's multitasking his drop play. It's just something he's known for, and it was too much for him in the end.
It was a really straightforward win for Keen. He got into a good position with his run-by at the natural. He took down 17 probes, was also able to kill the forge, kill the robotics spay, the robotics facility, and from this point on, well, there's not much to say. He just killed Inori. Inori didn't have a chance after this run-by attack.
Yeah, I mean, he was behind in upgrades. really struggling to split his lessened army. When your opponent has more army than you and it's a more mobile army, how can you ever win? You have to be in more places than he can with a worse army. It's a simple math problem when you think about it. Next map is going to be Antigua Shipyard. I would not be surprised if Keen changes up his style a little bit here and plays a tank-based build, something we've seen a lot on this map. You know, just to change things up, because he's really known for this one rags expanded to pressure builds. Sometimes even seeing his first Marines around to the expansion. Pretty tough to do that on this map, but he may try.
Oh, by the way, I was spot on. I think Wiki the Viking, yes, it exists, Wolf. Oh, wow. There you go.
I gotta check this out, man.
Someone just tweeted at me, shame on you for not knowing it. Thanks to CD Hales for telling me the correct name in English and everything.